What I want to talk about in this video is how anyone can make 1K, 10K, 100K, a million, 10 million, 100 million, or a billion. Now, how am I even qualified to talk about this in the first place? Well, first of all, some of these numbers I've been able to hit myself. And the ones that I haven't been able to hit, I have friends and people around me that have been able to achieve those numbers. Now, disclaimer, the only thing that I haven't seen yet is someone make a billion. I don't have anyone in my circle that is a 10-figure entrepreneur, but I have met multiple 7-figure, multiple 8-figure entrepreneurs, and one 9-figure entrepreneur so far. I'm yet to meet a billionaire, but we'll probably get there. What I want to talk about in this video is how anyone can get to these numbers, because what I fundamentally believe in is that there is a certain thing at each stage of your business that you have to do and focus on in order for you to be able to get to the next level. And so today I have my phone notes here as well. I want to talk about the 4 levels that I believe anyone can go through to actually get there, at least to like a couple million a year. And I want to talk about the different things that you have to focus on and prioritize during that time, because it's very important that you know what focus you need to have. At the end of the day, all businesses and all success in businesses is decision making. If you made decisions like a billionaire every single day, day in and day out, then you would, over a 10, 20-year time horizon, probably be a billionaire. And so it's all in decision making. So what I want to go over today is what decisions to make at what stage and what you have to focus on at each stage of your career and your business, and what I've personally done and what I've seen my friends do. Okay, so the first level is energy. And what I mean by that is very simple. When you first get started in business, and pretty much any successful entrepreneur started like this, what you have to focus on is you have to focus on creating your own energy. And the reason for it is very simple. A lot of people believe that energy is something that comes to you. A lot of people believe that you have energy. You don't have energy, you create energy. And what that means is that at any moment in time, you can decide to create a different type of energy. Now, obviously, there's limitations to this. If you've been working 16-hour workdays for 3 months straight and you just don't have any energy anymore, then obviously I completely understand that. But for most people, that shouldn't be the case. What do I mean by energy, and why am I even talking about this in the first place? So we first have to understand that we don't have energy, we create energy. That's one piece of the puzzle. And what we then have to understand is that our energy in the beginning, when we're first starting our business, dictates our success. It's not the tactics, it's not the systems, it's not even the knowledge sometimes. It's mostly just the energy. If you have basic information on how to get clients and close more people, and you just have the right energy and the right approach to it, meaning you're learning sales, you're proactive, you are extroverted, you're talking to people, you're good at talking to people. If you just do that, you'll already be pretty well off. And so I think anyone who's below 100K a year, 200K a year, what you have to learn is you have to learn to create your own energy, because that's going to benefit your sales massively. And fundamentally speaking, sales and consistency is what it takes to get to the first 10K a month. And it doesn't really take more than that. So that's like the first level. If you don't make any money yet, then it's a lot about your energy, creating your own energy and just getting good at sales as well. So that's number 1, first level. The second level after this, so if you're already doing 100K, 200K a year, and you want to get to a million a year, this is a lot about decision making. So decision making is a skill, and you have to learn what decisions to make and how to make them. And one commonality that I've seen amongst all the people that I know personally that are successful, and a trait that I've seen with myself as well, is not necessarily that we make the best decisions. It's more so that we make the quickest decisions, get the feedback, and then iterate fast. Business and money loves speed. You've probably heard that before. And what that essentially means is that you shouldn't be scared to make a decision because you're scared to fall off or make a wrong decision. What you should do instead is you should make decisions as quickly as humanly possible. That way you get feedback on whether the decision you made was right or not. And then based upon that feedback, you will know what is the best route to go. Why do we do this in the first place? We do this in the first place because with most decisions that you're going to be facing in your business, you won't have much data to rely on. You will not understand every intricacy of the thing you're making a decision about, and you won't have enough data. And because you won't have enough data and you won't know every intricacy, it's very hard to make an educated decision and know whether it's the right decision or not. So most times you have to make a decision quick to get feedback, and then you'll know whether it's the right decision or not. So just being quicker in your decision making already helps a lot. And what you have to understand here is that a lot of decisions are reversible. So Amazon or Jeff Bezos use this one decision making matrix in their business to decide what direction they head into and what decision they should make. And it's about two-door decisions and one-door decisions. Two-door decisions are decisions that are reversible, meaning you can make that decision, go through that door, and if you notice that it was the wrong decision and the wrong door, then you just go back and you try the next one. And the thing is that 99.9% of decisions are two-door decisions. There's very few decisions that are one-door decisions, meaning once you go through that door, you can never go back, or almost never go back. It's almost impossible. For me, for example, a one-door decision would be marriage, as an example. But there are very, very few one-door decisions in life. Most decisions are two-door decisions, meaning the person who's going to win is the person that makes the decision the quickest, goes through the door as fast as possible, understands and gets feedback, and then iterates based upon that feedback. So again, to iterate this so far, we have 4 levels, right? The first level to making 1K, 10K, 100K, a million, 10 million, and so on. You get the point. The first level is energy. If you're below 100, 200K a year, you have to learn to create your own energy based upon the situation, meaning you have to learn sales and you have to learn to be consistent. If you can create your own energy and you learn those 2 things, then you're already set up well. Secondly, after that, if you want to get to 1 million a year in run rate, you have to be good at decision making. And being good at decision making is essentially about understanding one-door and two-door decisions. And then from there, just acting upon that as quickly as possible and having a high speed of decision making. That's super important. Those are the first 2 levels. Now, keep in mind that with every level that you go through here, you keep this skill set. So it's not like you have to have the energy thing to get to 100 to 200K, and then you focus only on learning decision making and you disregard your energy. Like, your energy still stays. It's a skill set that you hold, and you hold for eternity, right? You need these skill sets going down. So at every level, you learn a new skill set and you keep that skill set. The third level is deploying cash. So what I mean by that, and this is also a skill set that I believe someone needs to go from low 6 figures to 7 figures, is that they have to be very comfortable spending money. What this usually looks like is this. So most people, when they get into business and they start making 100 to 200K a year, they tend to make more money with that business at that stage than they've ever made in their entire life before. And so staying comfortable and not trying to progress is a very good feeling at that stage, because you're making enough money to have a good life. But the thing is, if your business isn't growing, it's dying. Meaning, if you make 100 to 200K a year and you're just trying to sustain it, meaning you're not proactively growing the company will go down the drain. Because as markets change, as trends change, you won't be able to keep up and you'll probably lose the money you're making right now. So you have to be in consistent progression in business. That's super important. And one of the things that's super uncomfortable at that stage is that although you're making money, you have to deploy a lot of that cash back into the business to grow it more. And you have to deploy it into things that don't necessarily bring a direct ROI. So something that you have to deploy money into that does bring a direct ROI at that stage is ads. You have to spend money on ads, and you have to be comfortable spending $100, a couple hundred, or maybe $1,000 a day on ads to get the desired outcome. Because, that's just the fastest way to scale. Now, there are other things that you have to invest into to actually grow the company that aren't correlated to a direct trackable ROI. And those things would, for example, be mentorship and coaching and consulting. Although you should have a mentor at every stage in your business, it becomes specifically important after the stage where it's just about your energy. Because when you have to learn decision making, when you have to learn certain systems, Okay, sorry, that was my girlfriend. So deploying cash, deploy it into ads, deploy it into your own education, your own skills, deploy it into mentorship. And it's very uncomfortable because obviously there is no guaranteed or direct ROI. But at this stage, you have to get comfortable with spending more money and not upgrading your lifestyle too much. And that's something that I fall and prey to as well. Spending my money on lifestyle, although I should spend it on things that actually actively grow the business. So that's the third level to it. And the fourth level to it is leverage. Now, with leverage, there comes a lot of different things. But what I mainly refer to when I'm saying leverage is team, as well as things like brand and content. And I'm a fundamental believer that in about 5 years, 10 years, 20 years time from now, we will have investors invest in companies with 10 million, 100 million, maybe even $1 billion in investments in that company. I fundamentally believe that's going to happen through social media, because investors will look at your digital footprint, your ID card, so your Instagram profile, your social media profiles. They will look at those profiles and they will ask themselves, is this person consistent with everything they're doing? What is their moral compass? And all of these things. Because at the end of the day, when an investor invests into a company, whether that's from private equity or VC or whatever that may be, when someone invests into another company, they're not investing in the company. They're investing in the person and the team behind the company. They're investing in the people. Meaning, if someone can understand exactly what type of person you are and the traits you have through social media, then that's how funding deals will be secured in 5, 10, 20 years' time. And I fundamentally believe that. Now, the interesting thing with this is that a lot of things in marketing are either way going to be replaced with AI. And what I mean by that is that AI can literally replace any media buyer and anything you have to do in outreach. Meaning outreach and ads will kind of become a bit obsolete, at least for someone handling them, because AI can do all of that way quicker, way faster, and way better, and has access to more data. So fundamentally, what's going to set you apart is you being real, you being a real human being, and people being familiar with your brand. So the branding thing will become more and more and more relevant. And right now, we're at a point in time where you might think that branding is already hyped and people are trying to start their personal brands. Trust me, give it 5, 10, 20 years, and it's going to be the only thing that differentiates you from anyone else, because people buy into the person, they don't buy into the company. So that's a fundamental. And then the other fundamental is team building. And this really applies to any team member you hire, but the people grow the company. The people in your company make up the success of the company. Your job as a leader is to do two things. Your job as a leader in the company is to, first of all, and this actually goes back to level number 1, your job as a leader in the company is to create your own energy and then give that energy to your team. Meaning, you have to be able to create confidence. You have to be able to create positive emotion. You have to be able to create momentum yourself, within yourself first, and then you have to be able to give it to your team. That's one. That's the first part of being a leader. And the second part of being a leader is making sure that the people in your company are in a continuous daily loop of self-development. If you make sure that the people in your company develop themselves on a daily basis and get better themselves as a person on a daily basis, and that's what they're actually striving for, then the company will grow day on day, week on week, month on month, and year on year. So if you can make sure that you lead with your energy and you make sure that they focus on getting better themselves as a person every single day, if you can do those two things, then you gain a lot of leverage in your team. And so if we combine brand with a great team behind the scenes, then you're going to do very well. And so no matter what stage you're at currently in business, whether you're making 1K a month, 10K a month, 100K a month, $1 million a month, whatever that may be, if you want to make a lot more money, you have to understand these levels: energy, decision-making, deploying cash, and leverage. If you understand these 4 stages and you understand why they're important and at what stage in business they're important, it is going to help you massively with growing your company to the next level. And that's really that. Maybe I'll do more sit-down videos like these. I actually tend to really enjoy this. And if you did enjoy it as well, obviously leave a like. Let me know down below in the comment section if you want to see more videos exactly like these. And obviously if you have any questions as well, you can ask me on IG or directly in the comment section as well. Make sure to subscribe. I put these videos out for free, and I'm going to continue to do that, and I think they're pretty fucking valuable, so I would appreciate a sub. And besides that, I'll see you in the next video. Make sure to click the first link in the description if you want to hear more about my story and my come up and how I even got here in the first place. It's on YouTube as well. It's about 20 minutes long, so if you want to see that, first link in the description, and I'll see you in the next video.